Hi, this is Jane, and I just wanted to check in with everybody and let you know that we have lots of established authors with Tule, and we have some newer authors with Tule, but I never think it's a bad idea to do a quick refresh for all. Social media is an important way to connect with readers, but it's not the only way. And I really am a big, big believer in having a personal newsletter. Your newsletter doesn't have to go out, every week. It can go out once a month. If you have lots of releases, you could maybe do it every 2 weeks. But I think having a newsletter and starting to build that newsletter are really important. Why? Because it's the one thing you have some control over. We can't control Amazon. We can't control BookBub. We can't control Facebook. We can't control TikTok. We can't control all of those if they decide to save our account, to delete our account. So for me, having access to readers through my own email is huge. So I love that. Your website is huge too. Why? Because you can post information there that readers will want to know as they become your super fans. And even if they're just curious about you, they've heard about you, they want to go see who you are, what you write, and what's coming next. So even if you have a small website, that's better. I mean, you don't need a huge website in today's day and age because lots of people will go look for you on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, um, Twitter. So I think having a place where you have your complete book list, like a printable book list, is really important, where you have information about what's coming is important, a little bit about each book, a little bit about you. Readers are inevitably curious. They want to know more about you. And I understand if you work for the CIA or you're a double agent spy, you might not want your photo up. But at the same time, share enough about you that you feel approachable to readers, that you are someone that they could admire or that they would be comfortable approaching at a book event and saying, "Would you sign my book?" or "Can I take a picture with you?" If you remain so reserved or out of reach, you're going to lose a little bit of that relationship. And that relationship means quite a bit to some of our readers. Also, I am a proponent of BookBub. BookBub. I think everybody's heard me talk about it. If you're newer, you may be going, well, what's BookBub? BookBub is a site where you hear about new releases, discounted releases. It's a paid site for ads. If you want a deal, 99 cents deal, a free deal, or a discounted deal, you pay them a lot of money to get that deal. But then they send out the announcement to millions of readers. So there's two different ways to use BookBub. There's the way to get a deal, and then there's the way where you develop followers. And you get followers because they've seen your deal or they've signed up to follow you so they know when you have a new release. And also when you review a book, it gets in front of other people. So I'm a little bit behind on my reading and reviewing at BookBub, but I try at least twice a month to get some reviews up because again, it's another way to get in front of readers. BookBub is dedicated to books and readers. So where do you want to be? You want to be in a place where the readers are. And a lot of times, Instagram can be fun for photos. Facebook can be chatty. But I think having a place that's really focused on moving books, discussing books is where we do want to be. So that brings up Goodreads. Goodreads is owned by Amazon, and Goodreads isn't always a warm, fuzzy place, but I know some authors who have learned to make Goodreads work for them. Why? Because readers are there, and they have taken time to interact with some of their readers, to respond to even some really rough reviews and say, I don't necessarily agree, but I love hearing your thoughts. Or you can do a Goodreads giveaway where if you have a new book coming up and you want to get people interested in that series, or it's the first of a book, you can talk to Mia and say at Team Tule, our marketing person, is there any way I could do a Goodreads giveaway? There is a cost to them. So if you're able to cover the cost, Tule can help organize it with you and make sure we get the copies of your book set up and everything basically done. So I'm always thinking, where are the readers? That's where I'd like to be. Now, what about those big reader conventions? You know, thousands of people, hundreds of authors, tons of things, activities. Is that a good place to go? I am a terrible introvert, and big noises, big crowds. Jane Porter's a little sensitive, and I don't handle those things well. So I don't tend to go to them. Back when we had RT, way back when, I think out of 20 something years, I only went to one RT convention. Out of these other big events they do, Readers Take Denver, or something else, I sign up and then I inevitably I back out, because I would honestly rather meet with my readers in small groups at a sit-down tea or lunch than trying to cope with hundreds and hundreds of people rushing this way and that, all in a state of frenzied exhaustion or mania that there's another cool event to go to. That just sounds like hell to me. So if you ever want me to go to hell, picture me at a massive event filled with intense women. That's my idea of no. But I do love, if you have a chance to do, or you're invited to participate in a book event and it sounds fun, then do it. Go, because you get to meet readers and you get to meet other authors. And there's nothing like making friends with other authors. Some of my best friends, I all met at book events. My friend Megan Crane, I met at a publisher's event in New York City. My friend CJ Carmichael, I met at we were both unpublished then, but we met at a writer's weekend in Victoria, BC. So many of my friends have come to me through conferences, weekends, RWA meetings, other events like that. So take advantage of the opportunities, because having really solid writer friends makes a difference. What else do I think is important? I think doing what feels like you. If you're not comfortable, say, doing a podcast, then don't do it. If you're not comfortable making YouTube videos or TikTok videos with your face, then don't do it. I think, it's almost impossible to be everywhere and do everything well and do it all yourself. If you have someone you could hire, or someone, if you have kids or a friend who's like, oh, I'm really good at that, then put them to work. Ask them to help you. I'm a big believer in delegating, and only you can write your books, but other people could help you with your social media. Same thing for me. Only I can do the actual writing. And but what I have realized is, when it comes to my readers, because so many of them have been my readers for now 23, 24 years, and we've formed a close relationship, I don't want someone handling, say, all of my social media. If my readers are in a group, say Jane Porter's Fans and Friends, I have someone who helps me with admin and accepting people to the group and drawing winners for giveaways. But I do most of my posting, or I do all my own posting. It's important to me that it's they see me and they know me and I know them. That's not necessarily a goal for all writers. A lot of writers are maybe more private or more uncomfortable with that. So do what makes you happiest. I get meaning out of writing, and I get meaning out of having relationships with the readers, because for me, as scary introverted book girl, I don't think I'd have much of a social life without people who love books like I do. I can stay in my house, I can read, I can write, and never feel lonely, because we're all connected through a story. So, questions, ideas, what do you do? What is your favorite things to do to market you, to support your own brand that belongs to you, that has nothing to do with a publisher, and it has nothing to do with a retailer? what are your favorite things? I'd love for you to share them. And yeah, that's that.